Hi, I'm Linda Bond. Welcome to Love You Longmont. Today we have a special guest, Kimberlee McKee with the Longmont Downtown Development Authority. Thank you so much for being with us. One of the most important things about Longmont's downtown district is that it's a creative district. What does that mean?
Well, back in 2010, the community got together and worked on, led by the Longmont Downtown Development Authority, a arts and entertainment district plan. And it really talked about the vision is what people would like to see in their downtown. Once we started working that plan, we adopted it in 2011. The state of Colorado came out with guidelines for a creative district.
Really?
And so we really worked that plan. We got accepted in 2012 as one of the prospective districts and worked really hard as a community to become one of the certified creative districts. We've been a certified creative district going on our third year now. So what that means is we have an area that's defined by a boundary that we really try to make sure is infused with creative energy. Music, arts, culture, multiculturalism, things like everything from a creative-based business, such as a graphic designer or an architect, to musicians and artists and art studios. So
what are the physical boundaries?
So we started first in Maine, where we're hoping to see a great redevelopment and cheese importers. We go up as far north as Roosevelt Park Apartments at Longs Peak.
Oh.
We go over to Terry on the west, and basically down Kimbark till we get to 3rd, and then we kick over to Martin.
I read an article about the things that cool people want in their downtowns. Would you like to hear?
Absolutely.
Coffee shops, craft breweries, live music venues, thrift stores, record stores, and believe it or not, tattoo parlors.
Oh, well, I have to say, I think our creative district is very representative of what cool people want to see.
Perfect planning.
Yeah,
You didn't even know for sure what cool people wanted, and you got it.
Well, you know, interestingly, in our creative district plan, one of the things people wanted was live music. It was the #1 goal. Really? And when we adopted that plan, there were maybe 3 to 4 places that have live music. Now there are 15 to 20 places that you can hear live music at our great restaurants and breweries and galleries and all kinds of places. So
that makes it so exciting.
Yeah.
One of the things that you've put a lot of work in is the alley designs. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've been under construction. It's been a cone zone here, if you've noticed, but we do have these alleyways on the east and west side between the 300 and 600 blocks of Main Street that we've redesigned. We have undergrounded all the utilities. We have put in permeable pavers. We have tried to make them more aesthetically pleasing, as well with the breezeways. And this is a great connection between the parking lots and into downtown, but it's also one of those place-making things. We want a great sense of place when you come down here.
It looks beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm sure people are appreciative, although during the construction it was probably hard.
Yeah, it was difficult. We have great business owners here that were really able to deal with it. And we've been able to add things like art in the breezeways, lights, that type of thing. And it is a little bit of short-term pain, but I think we're going to have long-term gain in these alleys and access ways and things like that for our community.
One of the things that I love is Second Friday. Now, what's the basis of Second Friday?
So every second Friday here in our creative district, we basically have a celebration of all of the great things that are going on. So all of the art galleries do different openings, and they have artists, and all the restaurants are open. The retail stores are starting to be open. And it's just a great night. It's from 6 to 9, the second Friday of every month.
One of the things that's really fun is that the brew hop trolley has been added. And the brew hop trolley is so much fun because people can just take off and go around town. So how does it work with Second Friday to have the brew hop trolley?
Yeah, we just added that in February. So every second Friday, we have the brew hop trolley that will drive around and pick people up. You can just pay $1 and you can drive all night to get around the district. And so we're trying to get people all the way down to 1st and 2nd at our breweries there, and all the way up to Longs Peak Pub and all of the great venues in between.
And as they drive by, they see all of downtown, so maybe they can find places that they find interesting that they could go back to.
Absolutely.
So Blaine Robinson had a ride along here, and he's zipping along through downtown. And you'll see some of the things that make Longmont so unique. And right here, talk about the breweries.
Oh, 300 Suns, Wibby, Longs Peak, Bootstrap Brewing is going to be opening, the Pump House. So we really have a great concentration. We have a cidery now. Soon we'll be opening a distillery. And so, you know, those craft brews are all part, and ciders are all part of the creative district.
And they make it something that makes Longmont very unique.
Absolutely.
I don't imagine there are many towns that have this many breweries.
Right.
And it's certainly growing and upcoming.
It is, and creative arts and culinary is really one of our focuses. So increasing to have restaurants and things like the new kitchen store that'll be open. They're all things that really just add to what we're going for here in the district.
Well, all of this has made me hungry. So why don't we go to the Samples Bistro food truck at Wibby's?
Oh, awesome.
One bistro steak sandwich.
A nice hot grill. We got a couple portions of hanger steak here. Take our onions, which we caramelize, house pickled red peppers, little provolone. We're gonna toast our hoagie off on the grill here. Now we're gonna take our gooey, meaty, cheesy love here. All day. We get a good scrape, because that's where the flavor is. To finish this off, we've got a little house-made horseradish sauce we affectionately call horsey. And that is your Samples World Bistro steak sandwich. Cheers, guys.
Awesome. Thank you. You're welcome. Enjoy. Thank you.
Didn't that look like fun?
That was great.
So give us the information again about Second Friday.
So the second Friday in April coming up, it's always the second Friday of the week, starts at 6 o'clock, goes from 6 to 9, and our theme is Spring It, so it's a great time in spring, and we're going to have some hidden Easter eggs, and you can jump on, you can get a prize on the brew hop trolley, so it's going to be a great night.
You have a special event coming up in May.
Yeah, so all of the events are always on our calendar at downtownlongmont.com, but in May is the first art walk. It's May 20th, and so we're hoping that folks will be coming up. The DDA is having a cleanup day that morning, so anyone who wants to come volunteer and do some finishing touches are welcome to come May 20th.
I think that we should probably stress that there is not a charge for this. You can wander around downtown, you can go to Art Walk.
Absolutely, yeah. The events are free, and so they're always welcome to the whole community.
And the people are hoping that guests will come in.
Yes, absolutely.
So don't stand outside on the sidewalk and just hope.
That's exactly right. Yeah, go on and check out our great businesses. Hug a local business owner.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah.
I wanted to invite people. There's a special event coming up at the Hover Home. The Hover Home, as you know, is one of the historic homes in Longmont. And there's a special event coming up in August that's going to focus on the 1920s at the Hover Home. So April 15th, there is a 1920s fashion show and workshop at the Hover Home. It's absolutely free. If you have an inner flapper longing to get out, please come and see this. And so we went to Rockin' Robin. Rockin' Robin is in Niwot, but I'm pleased to announce in May they are moving to Longmont. So let's go visit Rockin' Robin.
This is the first dress that we would have seen at the beginning of the 1920s. As you can see, the waist drops a little bit lower, the hemline rises. You're still in basic colors and lace. The best thing about this was women started moving from corsets under their outfits into things like bloomers and slips, which fit a little more loosely. Right at 1925, you would have started seeing most of the United States wearing things like these, which were flapper dresses, named after the tassels that come off of them. This dress would have been a little more typical of something you would have seen in the West during the 1920s. It is still end of the 1920s, so they were still a little more conservative on the west side of the United States. And then last but not least, these are called beach pajamas. As the name suggests, they were loungewear worn over a swimsuit to the beach, and this would have been the first time you saw pants on women. They'll eventually turn into the pantsuits that we see in the 1930s.
I felt so helpless, what could I do? In the 1920s, women's hairstyles went into the short face. The bob and the finger wave and the pin curl were very indicative of the time. We had great Art Deco jewelry. Straight lines were very popular in the 1920s. And in the shoes, we went from pointed toes to square toes up into the 1930s. And the square heel was always a big sign of fashion in the 1920s, which today we would also wear beautiful pieces like this.
Thank you, Angela and Amanda at Rockin' Robin, and they're going to be at the free 1920s costume workshop at the Hover Home, and that's April 15th at 2 o'clock. It is again free, and they're going to talk about what people would wear in the 1920s. In August, the Hover Home is having a historic play, and it's going to be 1925, Hot Time in the Old Town. And this is just to get people ready to wear costumes and come and have fun in August. But the workshop is April 15th, 2 o'clock at the Hover Home, and it's free. Thank you so much for being with us. This was wonderful. This was Kimberlee McKee from the Longmont Downtown Development Authority, and she's told us all about fun things. So please come every second Friday. Are you off at any
Nope,
months?
every second Friday of the
Every
year.
second Friday. So don't forget, just put that on your calendar, check them on in, and it'll be a lot of fun. I want to thank Arts Longmont for furnishing the art for us today. We have two paintings by Diane Wood, and this pot in the back is a raku vase, and it is by Ginny Cash. So Arts Longmont has a lot of fun things by local artists. Thank you so much for being with us on Love You Longmont. I'll see you next time.
The absolute best thing about my steak sandwich is it tastes just like Christmas.
Love you, Longmont!
And what I love about Longmont is that there's a different beer and a different type of food on the menu every single night.